Today we are going to describe the mechanism of labor in vertex presentation. Okay. There are four positions identified, that is VLOA, VROA, VROP and VLOP. VLOA or V1 position is the commonest position. So let us describe the labor in VLOA position. Okay. In the mechanism of labor, it is the way by which this fetal head adjusts itself to the pelvic passage. That is what we understand by mechanism of labor. Now, broadly, you should understand that the head is well flexed in vertex presentation. This is increase of flexion. This is face. This movement of the head is increase of flexion, and this movement of the head is extension. Okay, understood? Now, this is the oblique diameter of the pelvic brain. These two are oblique diameters. Now, this sagittal suture is in the oblique diameter. Focus it here. Sagittal suture is in oblique diameter. When the occiput or the leading part moves towards the midline, is the internal rotation. Usually, it rotates on the pelvic floor. So, from the oblique diameter, when it moves towards the midline, is internal rotation. This is known as internal rotation. Once the head is borne out, this occiput or the leading part goes away from the midline. This is external rotation. We understood? What is internal rotation? When occiput from the oblique diameter moves towards the midline, is internal rotation. After birth, when it moves away from the midline, is external rotation. You can also remember external rotation occurs externally. Okay, that's fine. So you know now this movement of the head is flexion, increase of flexion. This movement of the head is extension. This is how the head gets born. Okay, this movement is extension, this is flexion. Now, let us learn it stepwise manner. Before that, you focus here. You remember the mechanism of labor in 5 steps with the word fire. F-I-E-R-A. The fire word you may use, but you have to misspell it. F-I-E-R-E. So this is F stands for flexion, I for internal rotation. Second movement in any labor is internal rotation. So you remember internal rotation. Then extension, then restitution, and lastly external rotation. So what is the first step? Increase of flexion, internal rotation, extension, restitution and external rotation. Externally it is there. So the last movement is external rotation. This E stands for extension. Okay. Now let us describe the labor in these cases. Next slide. The leading part in labor is the occiput. Okay. Can you focus here now? This descent of the head is occurring throughout the labor with the increase of flexion. There is engagement of the head. So here there is increase of flexion and engagement of the head. Increase of flexion and engagement of the head. Okay. Engagement means biparietal diameter crosses the pelvic brain. Here sinciput and occiput both has entered. Little or no portion is palpable per abdomen. And third point is head is at zero station. So with the increase of flexion there is engagement of the head. So where the increase of flexion occurs? At the pelvic brain. Second moment in any labor is internal rotation of the leading part. So this is the leading part is occiput. So there is internal rotation of the occiput. I told you whenever there is occiput on the pelvic floor, because occiput is at a lower level, it touches the pelvic floor. So two levator ani on this side. This occiput touches the levator ani, and with the Hart's rule there is a rotation, internal rotation. What is Hart's rule? Whatever part of the head touches with one lateral half of posterior segment of pelvic floor will rotate anteriorly. What I mean by this? These are the two levator on the either side. Okay, they are like this. Internal rotation occurs on the pelvic floor. The occiput is at a lower level, so it touches the levator. Which part? This is the lateral half of levator. This is the medial half. This is the anterior half, and this is the posterior half. So whatever part of the head touches with one lateral half of posterior segment of pelvic floor, means this segment we are interested, will push the occiput towards the midline and the occiput will get rotated towards the midline. This is how the internal rotation occurs. Further rotation of the occiput towards other side doesn't occur because there is levator canal there. So whatever part occiput touches the pelvic floor, whatever part is at a lower level will touch the pelvic floor and will get rotated. Thus in this case, with the internal rotation, the occiput, here is the occipital bone, it comes below the pubic symphysis. Understood? With this, there is a twist at the neck. Head was like this. Now with this, there is a twist at the neck. Understood? So here I have written, it results, internal rotation results in the twist at the neck. What is next step? Third step. Let us learn about third step. Okay? Now, so here the direction of the pelvic canal is downward, horizontal and forward. Introitus is here. Okay? Now this head follows the path, J-shaped axis. The head is borne out by the movement of extension. So in vertex presentation, first vertex, then brow and then face is borne out. This is how, where it results on the pelvic floor. This is how the head comes out of the introitus. So it is borne out. Now it is free. What next? Next step is restitution. When there was a twist at the neck, once the head gets borne out, this twist is undone. This undoing of the twist is known as restitution. I'll repeat again. There was a twist at the neck with the internal rotation. Once the head is out, this twist is undone. This movement is known as restitution. Now, show here. Now, last step is the external rotation of the occiput. Now, the head is already there, but the leading part is occiput. We had decided in the beginning, whenever I describe the labor, I describe in relation to the occiput. Even if it is out, still I will say there is movement of occiput. So what happens here? I told you, whatever part of the fetus has to come out, it has to come below the pubic symphysis, then only it can get borne out. Now, there is external rotation. Once the shoulder touches the pelvic floor here, there is internal rotation of shoulder. But I don't say there is internal rotation of shoulder. I say there is external rotation of the occiput. It occurs due to internal rotation of the shoulder. The shoulder is borne out, the trunk and the lower limbs follow. This is how you should explain the mechanism of labor. In short, you can tell it in the 5 steps. What is the first step? These 5 sentences you must utter and say in the examination. They give you the fetus and the pelvis. They ask you hold the fetus in BLO position, describe the mechanism of labor. So you are going to say it in 5 steps. Descent is occurring throughout the labor. The first movement is increase of flexion and engagement. Second movement is internal rotation of the occiput is the leading part and it moves towards the midline. Show here. It moves towards the midline with the twist at the neck. Then the head is borne out by the movement of extension. I show here. First vertex, brow, face. This is how it gets borne out. Next is the undoing of the twist at the neck. This is restitution. Lastly, there is external rotation of the occiput. It occurs due to internal rotation of the shoulder. Shoulder is borne out. Trunk and lower limbs follow. That's all. That is enough to explain. So only these 5 sentences and this photograph you should have a look at before entering in the examination hall.